here for a fight against domestic violence. I believe strongly that one woman who is a victim of domestic violence, of rape, of torture, of mutilation, is all women. And I am rising up against rape and domestic violence.
I am rising for my son and my daughter, Jake and Haley, to end the cycle of violence in my own family.
De la Mano is rising against domestic violence and sexual assault.
De la Mano se levanta en contra de la violencia doméstica y el acoso sexual.
I am rising for my mother, for my sisters, my nieces, my clients, especially for me.
I rise for all the women who struggle to be themselves, struggle to have a voice.
I am rising to help humanity see the oneness of all of us.
I am rising for the mujeres that are victims to sex trafficking.
We rise against genocide,
domestic violence, rape.
I rise for my family and my community.
I rise so that nobody else has to know the grief that I know.
I rise because there are women that cannot.
I am rising for the women in my family and for those who don't have a voice.
I'm rising for women like Julie Mead, who was brutally murdered by her estranged husband this past Wednesday, January 27th, in front of her 3 children. I am rising until the violence stops, and it needs to stop now.
I rise for my mother, my niece, my aunts, cousins, and friends.
I am rising for my mother and all the voices who are silenced.
I'm rising for those we have lost, especially for those that were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I rise because rape and other violent acts are still being committed against women, children, people in general. And I also rise for those who can't.
I rise because everyone needs to stand for something, and domestic violence and child abuse is a great reason to stand.
The YWCA is rising against domestic violence.
I rise for those who can't.
I rise for my mother and my nieces. I want them to be able to live and grow in a world where they can feel secure and empowered. 1 billion rise.
I am rising for our mothers.
I am rising for our daughters,
Past, present, and
future.
Hi, I'm Mayor Dan Rivera, and I invite you, residents and friends of the Merrimack Valley, to rise with us here in the city of Lawrence for 1 billion rising. Join us as we rise against gender violence and support the worldwide call of action around the globe on Valentine's Day. We will listen, act, rise, and dance into the revolution taking place on V-Day, February 14th. So bring your friends, family, kids, abuelos, and abuelas. Let's rise together. 1 billion rising.